You know, when you first look inside a forklift, it can be a lot. All those levers and pedals, it kind of looks like a spaceship cockpit, right? Well, it's actually not that intimidating. Today, we're going to break it all down, and by the end of this, you'll know what every single control does. Let's get into it.
So the first thing to get your head around is what a forklift isn't. And, well, it's definitely not a car. I mean, yeah, they both have steering wheels, but that's about where the similarities end. The big difference? Two things, really. One, its job is to move stuff, not people. And two, and this is the big one, it steers with its back wheels, not the front like a car. That's what makes it so nimble, but it also means the back end swings out wide, which is something you always have to watch out for.
Okay, here's the game plan for today. We'll start with the basics, then get you settled in the cab. After that, we'll cover the pedals and steering, then the hydraulic levers for all the lifting action. And finally, we'll wrap up with how to park and shut down safely. Sound good? Let's go.
All right, Section 1, your first forklift. So, before we even think about touching a single control, let's get a handle on the big picture. What are all these things actually for?
You can think of it like this. Every single control, every button, every pedal, every lever is part of one big team. And they all have the same goal, to give you, the operator, the power to drive, steer, and lift stuff safely and efficiently. It's all about control and precision.
Okay, let's hop in the driver's seat. Section 2, inside the operator's cab. So, picture this. It's your first time. Your first instinct might be to just jump in, find the key, and fire it up, right? Hold on a sec. Safety starts before you even start the engine. There are 3 super important things you gotta do first.
Step 1. Always get on from the left. Use the handholds. They're there for a reason. And whatever you do, never use the steering wheel to pull yourself up. It's not a grab bar. Step 2. Buckle up. Seriously, that seatbelt is your #1 safety feature. And step 3. Find the key. It's almost always on the right side of the steering column, pretty much where you'd expect it.
All right, Section 3 is all about pedals and steering. You're in, you're buckled up. Now, how do we actually get this thing moving? Let's look at what's at your feet and in your hands. Some of this is going to feel familiar, but some of it, well, it's a whole different ballgame.
So look down at your feet. You're going to see one of two things. If you're an electric forklift, it's super simple. Gas pedal, brake pedal. Kind of like an automatic car. But if you're in an internal combustion one, you might see a third pedal, all the way on the left. That, my friends, is the inching pedal, and it is a total game changer.
So what does this magic pedal do? Well, it's kind of like a clutch. When you press it down, it disconnects the transmission. This is awesome because it lets you rev the engine to get more power to your forks for lifting, but without the forklift shooting forward. It's the key to making those super slow, precise movements when you're lining up with a pallet or lifting something really heavy.
And what about going forward and backward? Easy. There's a lever, usually right there on the steering column. You push it up for forward, pull it down for reverse, and stick it in the middle for neutral. The one thing you have to remember, the golden rule, is to always come to a complete stop before you switch directions. Don't do it, and you'll wreck the transmission.
Now this right here, this is probably the most important thing you need to understand as a new operator. We keep saying it's not a car, right? Well, this is the biggest reason why. The back wheels are what steer, which means the whole back end of the forklift swings way out when you turn. You have to always know where that rear end is going, or you're going to hit something. Racks, pallets, or even people.
Okay, on to Section 4, the hydraulic levers. We figured out how to drive. Now for the fun part, learning how to lift. This is where the real magic happens. These levers are the heart of the whole operation.
Just think of these levers as the brains of the operation, telling the muscle where to go. Every time you move a lever, you're basically telling high-pressure fluid, hey, go power up those big cylinders and move the forks. It's all about directing that hydraulic power. Now, on your typical sit-down forklift, you're going to have 3 main levers right next to you, usually on the right. Lever 1 is for lift. That's your up and down. Lever 2 is for tilt. That angles the whole mast forward and backward. And lever 3, which is super useful, is the side shift. That lets you move the forks left and right without moving the whole machine.
So why are there 3? Well, they all work together. You use the lift lever to get the forks up. Then, and this is super important, you use the tilt lever to pull the load back towards you. That keeps it stable while you're driving. You only tilt forward when you're ready to put the load down. And that side shift? Oh, it's a lifesaver. It lets you make those tiny little adjustments to line things up perfectly without having to back up and try again.
Okay, we're on the home stretch, our final section, parking and shutting down. And look, the job isn't over just because you've dropped the load. Getting the forklift shut down safely is every bit as critical as operating it.
This is a 4-step process you should just burn into your brain. 1. Park it in a designated spot on flat ground. 2. Lower the forks all the way down until they're flat on the floor. That gets rid of a huge trip hazard. 3. Set the parking brake. And 4. Kill the engine and take the key out. Every single time.
So, after all this, what's the big takeaway? Well, knowing what all the buttons and levers do is just the beginning. That's the easy part. Becoming a really good, safe operator, that comes from practice. It's about getting a feel for the machine and, more than anything, being totally aware of everything happening around you at all times. And that kind of leads me to a final thought for you. We've spent all this time talking about the controls inside the forklift, but the best operators know that what's happening outside the cab is just as important. So here's my question for you. Before you even turn that key, what's the very first thing you should be looking for in your environment? Just something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this one.